What's up, Cardinals? This is Passionate Pursuits. I'm Max.
I'm Will.
And we're here with the Wushu Club. Will you guys introduce yourselves?
My name's Kaden Wong.
My name's Adrian Weiblinger.
My name is Mariella Brayton.
And this is the first ever episode of Passionate Pursuits. And what we do on this podcast is we focus on the more niche hobbies and activities and extracurriculars here at Lincoln. We try to showcase them and have more people know about them. So let me start off by asking, in 10 seconds, can you describe Wushu to us as if we were 5-year-olds?
I'd say it's a Chinese martial arts, which has both traditional and more modern forms, but uses a variety of weapons and all that. But that's about the shortest I can make it.
All right. How about you? You explain it.
It brings up lots of confidence and needs lots of spirit and discipline to practice, and it helps grow as a community.
Mariella?
I would say it's a Chinese martial art that recently has developed more into kind of more dancing moves and gymnastic moves.
Sounds pretty cool to me. So I guess you guys kind of already answered it, but what are the origins of Wushu?
So it originally came from China, obviously. It was a traditional form of self-defense, not a form of really combating others, but for protecting oneself, also learning the strengths to defend oneself. And I think it just sprouted from there and then just spread across the world, and now we're here. But yeah.
So what kind of weapons does Wushu use?
There's a variety of different weapons. There's different types of swords, like a straight sword, a broadsword, and then we have different longer weapons, like a spear and a staff and double-sided spears. And then there's the more flexible weapons, like a chain whip and a 3-sectional.
A chain whip sounds crazy. That sounds dope.
There's a lot of different types of weapons. There's the traditional weapons like broadsword and straight sword, and then there's really abstract weapons like my double daggers, or there's also swords with hooks or bull whips and stuff.
What's your favorite kind of weapons? We'll just go through all three of you.
For me, I'd have to say it would be a straight sword, just because that is my main form. If you were there during the assembly, you might have seen it, but...
Yeah, you guys looked great during the assembly, by the way.
Right,
Thank you.
My favorite weapon is the chain whip because it's my main weapon, and I've been using it since I was very young. I think it's the most flexible, and there's the most variety of moves.
Yeah, that chain whip, that was so cool. When I saw that in the assembly, I was so impressed.
My favorite weapon is my daggers because they're just they're pretty much fidget spinners that you spin on your hands, and they just look fun.
So it seems like a lot of people think Kung Fu and Wushu are the same thing. What do you guys have to say about that?
I think Wushu is more of the core of it. It's more centered around self-expression and building your physical ability, whereas Kung Fu or Taekwondo can be more related to sparring or fighting with other people, whereas you could use Wushu to build your base a little bit more, and then if you wanted to later in life, you already have those fundamentals to start a contact martial arts.
So how long have you guys all been practicing Wushu?
I've been doing it for almost 12 years now.
Ooh.
I think I've been doing it for almost 11.
Wow.
I think I'm nearing 10 or maybe around 10. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Where do you guys practice Wushu?
U.S. Wushu Center.
That's located on, I believe, 16th and Petty Grove.
Yeah.
When do kids usually start Wushu?
It's most encouraged to start the younger the better, so you can really grow up with it and you can have the fundamentals embedded in you, and it's more and it becomes more natural. So it's more encouraged to start around ages 3 to 5, but it's really open to any ages to start.
It's the muscle memory and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And the earlier you start, the more flexible you are, and you can retain that flexibility as you grow up.
Yeah, even so, we still do have some older people joining in. We have some high schoolers, some younger kids, obviously, and also in some of our classes there are adults that are full-grown adults that are in the classes, and they're just doing fine. They're doing pretty well.
So in the Lincoln Wushu Club, how many people are really experienced and how many people are, would you say, are newer?
Well, there's 6 people in the Lincoln Wushu Club that go to the U.S. Wushu Center and do Wushu there. And then there's a lot of other people that are there to, like, support us.
Cool. So, are there any kind of like academic opportunities or career opportunities when it comes to Wushu?
For competitions, if you are on a competition team, it gives you the opportunity to go to many different places. Like for me, example, I've been able to go to Japan, China, Brazil, all for this martial arts with this Wushu I do. And it opens a lot of opportunities. It helps your social skills. It builds your confidence a little bit more with self-expression. And it does look good on resumes.
Cool.
Yeah. It looks good to watch too.
Yeah.
So where is Wushu like most popular?
Probably China.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably China.
Yeah,
It's like
without a
Asia
doubt.
in general.
Yeah. It's spread all over Asia, and then here it's a bit less. I mean, down in LA, because there also is like a large Chinese and Asian population down there. It's also pretty large there. There's like teams like Elite Kung Fu down there, and I mean, even so, like we have 2 upcoming competitions, one in like Canada, another one in China, coming up within the following season. So we are looking forward to that. So we are given quite a few opportunities to like travel, go different places, meet new people, compete, and yeah, it's all over a great experience.
So why do you think that Wushu isn't as popular like in the West as other martial arts and sports are?
I think the main reason is because a lot of people see it as dance fighting, which can be a fair description. It is pretty much like dancing, but I think people really look forward to like the knuckle breaking, skull crushing, like kung fu, like in shows like Cobra Kai or like the Karate Kid franchise. Like they're really into that like physical aggression, but I think that a rise of Wushu would be really beneficial as it's really helpful to your body.
Yeah. And a lot of sports that we have like in America, I feel like are just like totally violent. Like American football is like so violent. People just like love watching it. I think it's primarily because of the violence. So I think it'd be better if we had sports like Wushu where it's just like, a lot more like elegant.
Yeah.
Rather than just like American football, people just like tackling, bashing each other's heads in, I think it'd be a lot better.
Would you say Wushu is harder than like other martial arts for like Taekwondo or Kung Fu?
I think it's a lot more precise, and your moves have to be really like stable, so that when you go to competitions, there's certain things that you get deducted points on, like if you wobble at all, and there's a lot of flips and stuff. So it's really fun sometimes, but yeah.
It could also be more emotionally demanding because the coaches are about precision, and it's like there's a certain way to how to do every move, whereas in like different combat martial arts, it's like it changes within match to match, I'm assuming, and you can't like just memorize like this is how you do this and this is how you do that. Like it's more on the spot, whereas with Wushu, it's like this and you're gonna do this, so you have to really like sharpen your skills.
Interesting.
So when you have a Wushu competition, what does that look like?
Oh, all right. So I mean, when you start off with a competition, obviously there's like an opening ceremony, and then it's an entire days or multiple days worth of staying in like this specific area. There's multiple different mats, and there's on each mat I'd say 5 judges. And they're all reviewing you from your form. You're going, just doing your one form, an entire I'd say from start to finish, you just go on, go off. You have to stay posed the entire time, and from that they'll grade you on how well you did, and you compete against others who are doing like similar forms,
and then you can also, a lot of the people on the team do multiple events, so it's like you could kind of relate it to track events. So like I do chain whip, and I also do Tai Chi, which is like a slower type of martial arts. It's more internal kung fu, and so you'll compete in these events, and it's sorted by age most time. So then you can see your opponents or your competitors a lot of the time.
Yeah, being at competitions is also really loud sometimes because there's a whole bunch of different teams, and they're all shouting "jayo" to each other, which means to like bring in more energy. And everyone's shouting at you when you're going on, and everyone's supporting you, and it's really nice environment.
And yeah, I feel like I can add on like two things. One, if you actually look up the English translation of 加油, it means add oil. But I think that's just a Chinese reflection of like Chinese culture in there. But like, also it makes sense that people are yelling that because like it's really demanding for these competitions. Because like if you're there, you get up like really early. You get there by like 6, and then you can be there till like 11:30 to midnight. You're there the entire day. You're cheering on your teammates. You're losing your voice. But yeah, it's a lot. It's worth it though.
Yeah, it's an overall great experience because it's really great to have that team bonding experience. There's nothing like going to a competition with your teammates and cheering them on, and even if like I've messed up multiple times in competitions, and it's really empowering and really good feeling to have my teammates there to kind of build me back up.
Cool. And then are you like ranked based off of like your group or off like your individual performance?
They score you, so like multiple judges will have a different score, and then they round that, and then or they like average it, and then that's your final score. And then within your event, they'll like kind of base it around the first person, like did they do better or like worse, more or less. So then if you're first, you kind of set the standard, and then if you're second, you can kind of like project or like I don't know, base your form off like what you need to work on or things like that. And so you are ranked on your event. But there is multiple different occasions where it's like there's all-around champion, where it's like they total all your scores and then like average it somehow, and then they'll rank you based on your age group.
Cool.
So how do we support the Lincoln Wushu Club? How does the student body support y'all?
I think that like during the events, like when we're performing, like just cheer us on, just be there.
Show your support.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, is there anything else you guys want to say or shout out?
Spread the word about Wushu. It's really good for all included parties, and it's very beneficial.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. I think you've answered all our questions. It's been great having you. Audience, go out and research Wushu. Go watch some Wushu videos. Make sure to support the Wushu Club. Will?
Make sure to support us on our next podcast episode. Thank you. We're out.
This was a Cardinal Times production. Beats courtesy of Samuel Hall.